Good morning and welcome to the midwinter edition of Psychic Brunch.
Hashtag second Christmas breakfast.
I see that Lady Christmas is ready here with her music and her outfit. Is it got a little belt?
Let's look at the whole magic, really, of what's going on.
Oh, is it a dress?
It's a jumper dress of doom and joy. Yes. Oh.
You know what? It's better than the knitted jumpers that have found their way into trending schools and offices.
Really? Yeah.
I think in America they call it like an ugly jumper day, and I'm really, really here for it because here it started as like Christmas jumper day at school, and then it got changed into a warm jumper day, which was a little bit better.
Opposed to cold jumper day.
A little bit better. My bigger boy, who's nearly 13, has got a green jumper, plain green jumper that has Christmas jumper printed on it in inverted commas. Really
amazing.
Appreciate it.
I love it.
Really appreciate it. But yeah, if I am not mistaken, I've seen around American friends that it's called Ugly Jumper Day there or Ugly Sweater Day.
Yeah.
And I think, well, just call it by its real name.
Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah. I've seen some pretty terrible ones. Like one's a supermarket branding on and Christmas decorations. I was like, and the bargain supermarkets at that. You're not showing off. You're saying, I've shopped at a very cheap supermarket, and also, hey, happy Christmas. It's just a look. I'm not sure.
Right. We have confirmation from across the pond. Amy says Ugly Sweater Day is
real. I'm doing it for you.
Well,
ugly jumper dress day. Santa Daligan. Ho, ho, ho.
But yeah, no, that's not ugly. The ugly jumper is a completely different thing, different tradition. Chaley says, hello, Empress. And Sandy Black says, hello, ladies, blessings.
Blessings to all of you. Mwah. Happy almost solstice.
Happy almost solstice. So it is quite an exciting time of the year, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're not quite at like the big day on the calendar, but everything else has started winding down. Have you done your final Christmas party of the year?
Yes.
Yes.
We've got there's like a post-Christmas one in January. It just feels really weird, but yes. But I'm also it starts a year off feeling I'm not all into being miserable in January. Let's go for it. But yeah, it's weird because it's only a couple of weeks away, but it feels like forever away because it's next year.
It's a different year. It's a different year. Yeah, but the Christmas parties have dwindled down to nothing. The schools are finishing. I've got 2 finishing their school this afternoon, 2 finishing their school tomorrow lunchtime. We're going to Christmas markets. The tree is up in almost, all locations that support a tree. And we're still waiting. So if you're me or you, that time is probably filled with loads of work.
Yeah.
Loads of work. Unless the presents stop themselves, there's a good chance they're going to find themselves under the tree naked.
Naked present.
Yeah, it's a good, also a type of present. But where we are kind of astrologically and also magically is just at the time of midwinter of the winter solstice. So Sagittarius season, which is the season of all the glitter and the overconsumption and the parties and the laughter and the loud music, is actually finishing on the 21st. And Capricorn season, which is dry January and the gym membership. And I don't know about you, but I always I bulk buy porridge because I love porridge so much. So I wait until it's on offer. And in January, it's always on offer. So bulk buy porridge. So all of that actually starts 3-4 days before Christmas itself.
It's why you feel quite over it by the time you're there, aren't you? You're a bit like, I'm a little bit over this now. Okay, because Capricorn's going.
Yeah, exactly. And Amy's laughing at the gym membership. So when it's actually sort of Christmas Day, Christmas Eve, I'm already like looking at the discount shopping for after the season. I'm already looking like at where I'm going to tidy everything away, and that's days before, days before. So I think we've got some sass here from Amy's dad. So Amy's father-in-law saying holidays are for people who don't want to work and don't want anyone else to work. That's Saggy season. That's Saggy season calls in sick. Saggy season calls in sick, and you can smell like the drinky on their breath. She says he was a farmer though, and Diane says this does make sense.
Yeah,
it's so weird how it does.
Yeah. And it's funny because probably both of us been working like crazy through the Saggy season. I do feel a bit like like I'm on my last thread. The last thread is dangling really at the moment. So I'm quite looking forward to a bit of quiet. It's just
the last thread is making this noise.
I think it broke yesterday actually, so I could be in free fall.
Could be. But at least you can look forward at a day where you can sleep undisturbed. On the 25th, well, that is like sleep day. I was running with my friend day before yesterday. Was it yesterday? I don't know. All the days are the same. And I said to her, I don't know if I'm coming down with a cold or if I'm just so tired that it feels like a cold, but it's really just exhaustion. And she's like, so, how many hours did you sleep last night? How many hours you slept before? She's like, I'm no doctor, but I think it's just just the work. Yeah. Aisha is saying, can't wait to have readings from you both. Absolutely.
Welcome.
We're going to get some fun readings done for everyone while we talk about the vibe of midwinter and how it's different to Christmas, but also like super, super exactly the same.
I think it's yeah. I mean, I'm looking for. I don't love the summer solstice. I always find it a bit of a wibble. I don't love it. I love the winter solstice.
Wow.
I just love that feeling of hope and that light is being that sense of something pure and clear coming back. Because the summer solstice for me feels like a sadness. It just feels like, that was the pinnacle. Bye, off you go.
Yeah. No, it's really, really true. If you're somebody who looks to the future, then you get to summer solstice and you're like, okay, yay. And now for the whole summer, nights are getting longer, days are getting shorter, and then we're in free fall to the holidays. Chaley says, you should go caroling, Amy. I think there's a group that does that where you live and you may enjoy it. Diane is jumping right in there going, will you be talking about the darker mythology behind winter solstice too? We'd love to, but we're not in our living room. So I think sort of dealing with really, really dark themes could get us like earmarked, reported or banned. But it is a time of rebirth. And rebirth is, I don't know about you, but it's the word that I use when I get the card with the skeleton and the scythe. That's what rebirth is. Yeah, rebirth is what happens after what?
Nothing.
What happens before rebirth?
I've had to say it a few times though, because it's people, we do jump to the rebirth, but you've got to let go first. You're
not going to reborn if you stay out of this hole in the ground. That's not how it works. You get in the hole, and then we're going to talk about rebirth.
Yeah.
So I actually had an article sent back to me a couple of days ago. So I submitted some predictions to a magazine. And one of them is for a real national treasure. And the card that she got was the 13th card the 14th card, number 13.
The DR.
This guy. Yeah. Exactly. So I wrote, and I am not here to make national treasures feel sad and worried. That is not one of my missions in life at all. I'm here. I'm a married lady. I can make my husband feel worried. This is it. That's the end of the remit. I suppose I've still got a dad.
He's a national treasure as well, though.
I suppose
he is a national treasure.
Yeah. He's a regional treasure, like at best.
I'm not in the region, and I think he's a treasure. So I think
I let him know. He'll be so pleased. So the article got sent back to me because the journalist said my sub-editor is trying to illustrate it, and you put that this national treasure got the transformation card, and she can't find it. She was on to me. She was like, "Did you mean the death card?" And I was like, "I absolutely did." And I said to her, "We can go with rebirth if transformation is too vague for you." And they're going with rebirth.
Good.
We've got quite a few messages. I think everybody's on board. Amy's looking for the caroling. Chaley says, after you go on a date with Pluto.
Yeah,
Pluto,
I like it.
Yes. Oh, I love that. Wow, should we adopt it? Date with Pluto, god of the underworld.
And then
Pluto,
tonight is also today's Hulda's night. So you've actually got another celebration tonight as well, the goddess Hulda. So you've got all these other things going on. If you're looking for an alternative to Christmas, every night pretty much until this is, there'll be some goddess or some saint
loads going
got
on.
a night. So today's Hulda's night. So it's if you're feeling like, oh, there's no spiritual meaning of this Christmas time of year, yes, there is. And there's so much to look into.
There's such a lot. There's such a lot. So absolutely no disrespect to the Christian community. We love you. We appreciate you. But for anybody that wants to celebrate it in a different way, I have the book with British ones. I have actually several. That was the one that jumped forward. So on the 20th, we've got St. Nicholas Wait. I can't even read half of it. But this is what happens on the 20th.
Cool.
I don't even know how to explain it exactly. Amy says, better love us. No, absolutely. We are welcoming of all and any faiths. Obviously, this is the 21st. I think we have some druids in the pictures. But yeah, there's stuff going on all the time because these festivals are nature festivals. They're not made up festivals. Nearly every festival that we've got throughout the actual year have their roots in nature. So there's nothing more, obvious than the middle of winter, the shortest day, the longest night. It's it glares in your face.
It does. And I know there's loads of festivals that have been going on, including, we'll talk about the darker things, but the Krampus festival's got quite a big following now, celebrating the whole thing of Christmas where it's like, are you naughty or nice? It's kind of brushed under the carpet now, isn't it? If you're naughty nice, you're still going to get presents, most likely. But the whole aspect of, if you're naughty, then the Krampus comes, because the spirit of winter would, we live in central heated, thankfully, homes. But when you're living in the countryside in the snow without any heating, death in the wintertime or Pluto's date in the wintertime, transformation and rebirth, would be really a very, a real thing. And so that element of those winter spirits that aren't quite as friendly are really huge, and a lot of them have been transformed into other things now, but you can go really far into looking at, and it's not like an evil or dark thing, it's just a reality of life and the power of the darkest night. And also, the one we like is the cat, the Icelandic cat, the one that comes up at the big, there's a massive
Tell
Icelandic
me everything cat. About the Icelandic cats. What? Tell me.
Yes, there's one of the nights, and it's with the Yule cat, and he's a giant cat. And he comes around, and if you've not been good, the Yule cat's going to get you. But also, he's a cat, so you can just tickle his tummy and give him some treats, and everything will be fine. So you got the Yule boys and the kind of the spirits of Christmas. But the Yule cat, he's the one. He's a giant, and he travels around the Yule time, and you have to leave out milk and gifts for him, or porridge maybe, to keep him happy. So yes,
not getting any of my porridge before the prices go down. But yeah, and Diane says. There's also some aspects of the Norse god Odin that influence the image of Santa Claus, right? So am I right in saying that Santa is a super commercialized amalgamation of
a lot of things?
Different traditions.
Yeah, and the Wild Hunt, because I think what we're looking at is the Wild Hunt, which Odin, you have Odin, you have Hulda also, you have the goddess doing the Wild Hunt as well, which I really quite like. You have Herne. There's lots of different deities connected with the wild hunt Gwynap Neath over winter time, and that idea of riding at night over the land is obviously what Santa does as well. So that's a big place of where, you know, Odin and Santa do have a crossover. There's lots of people that will go, Odin is not Santa, and people go, Odin is Santa. And I think it's not either of that. I think there's just bits of those two stories, or Santa's taken bits of different stories and gone, I'll just take the nice bits.
Absolutely. And I think it's really natural to see myths converge all the way through history. For me, because I'm such a sucker from European mythologies. I love the Roman myths and I love the Greek myths. And some of the gods there are exactly the same, and some of the gods there are quite different, and some just have a certain amount of overlap. And they weren't all invented at the same time or created the universe at the same time. But the traveling and conquests will have got this element to that element. So what I know just from growing up without a Christmas at all. So I grew up in Israel. The Christian minority is a minority, but in kind of the majority of population houses, there were no trees. And then in the early 90s, we were a total of 6 million citizens, and we absorbed 1.5 million immigrants, refugees from the collapsing Soviet Union. And it turns out that the Soviet Union, even though it was very irreligious, it was secular by its definition, it came with a tree and a thing that looks like Santa, does all of Santa's jobs, but wears blue and white.
Ooh.
And that was, I don't know how many people even knew that when it happens. So now some houses have a tree, some houses don't have a tree. People will have, I don't even remember what that blue Santa is called. It's got a Russian name. It's, you know, anyone with Soviet roots, please tell me. Oh, Amy says same here. My husband didn't grow up with Christmas at all. I found that interesting. Billions of people in the world don't have Christmas. It's really central to European and European adjacent.
All America.
The English speaking world.
The English speaking world. But I was thinking about the just the tie-in with Bad Jumper Day and the Yule Cat. Apparently, remember that the Yule Cat will kill children that do not have new clothing before Christmas. So you have to give them a new dress. So you give them a bad jumper and the Yule Cat will leave you. But what a weird thing, if you don't receive new clothing, and I wonder what that comes from, what kind of stories that comes from.
So I'll tell you, there's something really interesting because my in-laws, they're from Yorkshire, which is like, the heart of England. They're quite traditional. And at Easter, they always sort of give the kids bags with some new clothes. And I said to them, well, that's really funny, because when we were small at Passover, you'd always get new clothes. It was past the Passover thing. And I think we're now in a culture of wealth. Whenever we want cake, there is cake. Whenever we want chocolate, there is chocolate. Whenever we need a new top or a new pair of shoes, there's a shop there. We used to get shoes once a year. We used to get summer clothes at the start of summer, or, in Passover, winter clothes at winter. So that tradition with the clothes could well be a way to sort of bring a bit of mythology into the sort of very practical necessity of kids growing, needing new clothes. Amy says grandma knitted mittens for all of us.
Mittens are so lovely.
That sounds really cute. That is lovely. And she says,
sorry.
Oh no, sorry, go ahead. She says my dad one year got walnuts and tangerines. Walnuts and tangerines, big hit over in England. Big hit in the stockings, isn't it? I don't really understand the Christmas stockings. I don't fully understand them. I know that they're for presents that are not really presents, but I
guess they'd be your only presents in the past. Like you'd only get presents to fill a stocking, but now it's like an extra, isn't it? Because you don't fit a bike or whatever in a stocking.
Yeah. we started sort of doing Christmases properly, obviously, when the children were born. I had to like kind of learn on the go. I was like, why don't put Israeli salad in the middle of Christmas dinner? It goes with everything. Tomatoes, cucumbers, it's great. So I had to learn as I went. And a couple of things came. So my eldest is 14. So I've been doing Christmases like properly for 14 years. And since then, we had the introduction of Elf on the Shelf. And since then, we've had the introduction of the Christmas gift, the Christmas Eve box. And that is where I draw the line. Things that didn't exist when I started celebrating Christmas, which I think we can refer to as very recent history. Anything that's newer than my very recent history, no. This is a good place to stop. So my friend was explaining to me, she's like, did you do the Christmas Eve box? And I was like, excuse me. And she said, oh, it's like Christmas Eve. So this is for American friends, right? Amy looks incensed about Elf on the Shelf. Absolutely, yeah. Very, very new. I don't know if it came from you guys or from here, but yeah, not happy with the 24 days of activities for mummy in the night when she's already low on sleep and on nerves. So she says to me, oh, the Christmas Eve box. So this is just to explain. I know that in America, you sometimes celebrate on the Christmas Eve.
And in Norway as well. Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah, I've done that with a Norwegian friend with a Yule dance around the tree and stuff. Exactly. It's brilliant. But in England, you celebrate Christmas Day, like Christmas morning. So that's when you do the presents and stuff. So the Christmas Eve box is a tradition that just in case there's not enough waste and, ostentatious gift giving, just in case it's not enough, on the Christmas Eve, you give each child a box. Inside the box, they are surprised to find a new pair of pajamas. Now, do you know how expensive pajamas are before Christmas and how cheap they are Boxing Day? Half price. So you have a new pair of pajamas. You have some hot chocolate, just in case all the chocolate of the next day is just not enough for your, to send you through the roof. And you have like DVDs. So it really narrows like what years it was popular, because, I don't think some kids sort of know what DVDs are right now. And that is an extra 50 quid that you're dropping on each child just to ease them into the insanity of Christmas Day itself. So Christmas Eve box. Yeah, this is where Inbaal draws the line.
I don't blame you.
John is clearly not on board. And he says, it's fun to move the elf overnight. It freaks the children, by which he means kittens, out. Yeah, I suppose we're going right back to frightening children, which is a hallowed tradition.
I don't have an elf on the shelf. I'm not,
No, you can be the elf on the shelf.
I am looking like it, so it's okay.
And Dahlia Rose says, in Sweden, we celebrate on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
Diane says, do you have a personal favorite solstice folklore story? I have a favorite solstice actual story.
Tell me.
1 year I got, like, before I could drive here and before I had a car, a friend of mine who is a Sagittarian, never cold, drove us to Stonehenge for winter solstice. And that was incredible. But as I sort of burst through, I wanted to be the first one in line. When the queue means absolutely nothing, it doesn't matter who's first, and it's still important to be first. I'm looking you deep in the eye to see if it's just me, not me.
No, completely.
Got to be the first one in line, because if there's a line, what's the point of not at least trying? And there was another chap who was the first one in line, and and I knew him from London. I'm like, oh, are you Simon? And he was like, yeah. And I said to him, you Jewish? Because I'm Jewish, and we're kind of pushed forward. Is it us? Is it a problem? And he said, oh, they call us Jew witches in America. And that was the first time I heard that word. So that was the winter solstice, and it was beautiful in Stonehenge. And obviously for summer solstice, you've got hundreds of people. They're like, not hundreds, however many are allowed to not destroy the but in winter solstice, there's not that many people. And so the people who are there at winter solstice were sort of quite a specific cross section of society. It was the people that are never cold, the people that will go far even when the weather is rank, and very possibly the people that didn't really have to wrap dozens of presents within those days, because they were heady days. It just sort of drove down, did the ceremony, drove back. It was incredible.
Yeah, I did it a few years at the winter solstice. I've been a bit lazy recently because if someone's not in the house making me get up at 4 to drive down there, I don't. But I do. I've never been for the summer there, but I do love the winter there. Though one winter solstice there, I had a really awful flu, and I was like, I'm gonna go anyway. And then I got taken photo of by the Telegraph or by the Guardian. I can't remember who, but they were like,
I remember that picture.
I looked like I was off my face. They made a comment like I was on drugs. I was on Lemsip. I just felt so ill that they put this whole thing about these pagans having a crazy time. I was like, I was about to die.
No, you looked beautiful. Were you drumming?
Yeah.
You remember that picture? You do not look off your face at all. You look like somebody who's been up the whole night in the middle of winter.
Yes.
The paleness was very appropriate for the picture. Yes. Blessed with the lemsip. So we're going to sort of get cracking with doing some readings for you, and we would love to hear your midwinter stories from whatever background, whatever culture. Any winter story is a story that we'd love to hear. So I know that Amy says would love to have seen that pic.
It's on my Facebook.
On Laura's Facebook and scroll. B, Google Laura Daligan images, and it's still on, isn't it?
Probably Stone. Yeah,
it did the rounds.
It did the rounds.
It did the rounds, didn't it?
I was like, oh, drumming.
One year I was interviewed for the I was like right here, interviewed for Sky News about the winter solstice, and they were like, oh, we just want to talk to a few people. And so they had the footage of the people dancing in Stonehenge, like next to me, and me doing the interview. And I felt like such a fraud. Like, I'm here, comfortable, warm, central heating over there, slippers on my feet, and I'm talking about it. And there's the people why didn't you send a reporter to interview the people that are actually there? They
were lazy too. Yeah, they didn't want to go.
They weren't very lazy. They came, where I live, they came all the way here. It was sort of quite impressive. Andrea says hello, my beautiful spiritual sisters and family. Hello.
See you.
And Aisha says, can I ask a question? Absolutely, Aisha. You send in the question. So everybody that wants to jump in, this is your I think Amy found it. She says, is it the one with the red stripe across your eyes?
Oh no, that's actually me in my better days. I look positively
glowing
compared to that one. And there's no makeup on that one. It's just like I'm just drumming in Stonehenge, but I don't think I've got red makeup across my eyes, unless it's just the pain of lack of sleep. I'm not sure. I'm joking.
No,
You're on it, Amy. I approve of your
keep scrolling. Google will do you good. Aisha says, Zaid Mahbub, what kind of person is he? What kind of energies he have for me? Let's have a look, Aisha.
I'm going in with the big boys today. We've got the cat tarot cards called tarot cards, and they're just the major arcana. So we're just going to hit with the major for what kind of this energy is.
Boom.
Boom. No method. You can start. Sorry, you go.
Yeah. Let me jump, because Aisha, look, I'm an optimist at the best of times. I really believe in love, but when a card like this comes up, it's so positive. This is the Three of Cups. The Three of Cups, if you look it up, is the love card. I feel like Zaid really, really wants to get to know you, wants to get close to you. I feel like he's more of a romantic in his personality. I feel like his energies towards you are really sort of very, very sincere, like very authentic. What have you got there, Laura?
Yes, again, I've only got the major, but they are beautiful and they're cats. So the carrot cards. Oh, so you've got the strength card straight away, which I just love. So this feels to be a beautiful energy already, like just like going with the Three of Cups. What a beautiful feeling. I think you've kind of enchanted him. You've captivated his energy in a really lovely way. It just feels this person's absolutely fascinated by, and it's just saying, just keep being you. Like, don't shift it. Just be absolutely 110% yourself. The Priestess card saying there's a little bit of, there's this magic there and the connection, and we shouldn't know it all when we first meet someone. It's allow that magic and that mystery to move forward, because I feel there's a real beautiful energy there. Obviously, going with the Three of Cups as well, these three together feel there's something that could be really explored here. And I feel like he thinks that you're an absolutely wonderful, powerful, gorgeous human. And I think just keep being you. And you know how I would, of course, never do this, but when you start fancying someone, you start acting a bit weird. I do that. Don't, all kind of getting panicky and like, do they like me? Because they love your strength. They love your energy just as you are. So it's just like, keep being you. It looks lovely.
Wow, we have a hello from Sydney where it's coming up to midsummer.
Yes.
How amazing. Aisha says, and this is something that I've seen kind of troubling people before. I'm afraid he haven't forgotten his past. And it's something that I see a lot in clients that have had very traditional marriages or arranged marriages, where it's always the lady sort of thinking about all the kind of shenanigans that the husband has got up to before. And I've got to say, from my experience, like vicariously via my clients, even a traditional person that has experimented a lot is able to easily turn over a new page, because the time of dating and the concept of marriage are two very, very different things. And just like you are a different person with your friends, slightly different person at work, slightly different person maybe when you're studying. So you have like different personalities or different energies that you display in each one. The same for Zaid in his kind of experimental days. It was really important for him to show off. It was really important for him to show off. He really was somebody that wanted people to think he's very wealthy. He wanted people to think he's very good looking. It was really about his hair. But when he looks forward into a relationship, into a marriage, look at that. It's the 10 of Cups. He really wants to be the best at it. And it's something that I think might just sort of relate to how much of an achiever he is. So when he was dating, he wanted to be like really, really good at it. He wanted for people to think he's like amazing at dating. But when he goes into a marriage situation, he wants to be a really, really good husband. And those two things are not the same, but the same person can, express them.
Yeah. I love that. And I think because of that as well, like looking at the strength card, it's like you are the person that can be in that space. He's looking to you as someone that can hold that energy of excitement, of passion, but also of long-term commitment. Whereas you say before, he was looking at, himself or things that he could do or be good at. Now he's like, this is a woman that can actually be that, all of those things for me. So that feels really nice.
Yeah, that's right. Because the strength tames the lion. I'm really curious about what your star sign is, Aisha, and what Zaid's star sign is as well. Andrew says, thanks for the shout out. Diane, you're super welcome. Diane says, did you want us to share our stories here? Mine's a little long, Well, we're on for another, I don't know, 22, 23 minutes. So
23 minutes, yeah.
yeah, any shorter than that is fine. If you've got a 20-minute story, we're dying to hear it. Sharing is caring. Ooh, we've got a wonderful message from Helen, who says, "Hi, lovely ladies. In 2025, I will have been single for 20 years, and at 72, I've put relationships behind me. Is this a karmic lesson, please, or learning life for me? I am a Capricorn." That's such a good question.
So but I should say straight away that Pluto's been in Capricorn for 18 years, and it has just shifted. So there's going to be transformation and change. I don't think you can predict next year on how the last 20 odd years has been. So I feel I've got a feeling there could be a change. I've just got to.
Yeah. Pluto's finally left you alone. Congratulations.
The lovers.
I don't even want to shuffle. Like, you can't top that. The lovers, that's kind of big. Right, Helen, shave your legs.
And then shake your legs. I was like, well, oh, shave your legs. Shake your legs.
Yeah, you know what? What's more attractive, hairlessness or shaking? Yeah, I think the shaking is better.
Yeah. Oh, look. So there's something that's cleared for you that's huge. And your mind, of course, we are human, go, oh, no, I'm this and this. No, your soul is saying, you've asked this question. There's something you would like to change. If you hadn't, you wouldn't have said that. So there's a deep part of you that's going, I wouldn't mind something lovely and worthy and good. Well, the Lover's card is equal connection. It's something worthy, lovely, and good. And it's blessed. So I know they're all cats in this, you could have another cat if you wanted to, but I do feel that we're looking at a relationship that's coming in that feels really balanced and powerful. If you want it, it feels like it's there.
And do you know what's incredible is that this shows the exact opposite and what is necessary in order for that to manifest.
Yes.
So if you watched the very, very beginning, and if you haven't, you can watch again later. We danced around how important it is for things to perish before they can be reborn.
Yeah.
And this is something that is perishing so hard that it will fertilize the new energies that are coming in. So this is some stuff that's still in your house from the ex from 20 years ago. This is something that's still sitting in your heart for 20 years. Burn it. Do you know what the midwinter is so good for? Banishing magic. Yeah, throw things over the fence. Absolutely. Set fire to stuff very carefully in good, reliable dishes, and not, and close to the rain. But you know what I mean? It shows that there's still just the last teeny tiny little dregs of memories that are not doing you any good. And it really is time to, to get rid of them in quite a dramatic and spectacular way. And then it really is inevitable that you will have, at the very least, the option, the choice to make a huge change. I'm also thinking, my dad is 74 and, is 10 years widowed now. So
he's a handsome chap. He's a handsome chap.
He is. He's a Virgo. He's a Virgo. The looks is like the least of the qualities. Right. And we've got Roger saying howdy and good morning from Kentucky. It's 6 a.m. in Kentucky, is it not? Thank you for jumping in upon awakening. Diane says, okay, about 2 years ago, I did a small ceremony in my apartment for the solstice to honor the Holly King. And in my trance state, I saw my fairy guide surrounding my room. The energy was insane.
I love that.
It's so beautiful. And I love doing something indoors to celebrate the outdoors, because I'm a very indoor witch. I wouldn't say I'm an indoorsy person because I'm out all the time. I think of myself as an indoorsy person, but that is, not based on reality. But I am very much an indoorsy witch. I like for my candles to be safe, as as you can see from the anxiety attack before. So I love that you did your Holly King ceremony on the inside. And then we have a part 2 where she says, even when I had to leave the room and come back, they were still there. And I had a brief interaction with the Holly King through a vision, I guess. And it was really amazing. That sounds so beautiful.
I love it. I've got a bit of holly I found on the, let's see if I can, can we see it? Oh, there's some holly. You probably can't say that. It's a bough of holly. Yeah, I found it. It had kind of already departed the tree, but from the storm. So I brought it in to decorate. But yeah, holly. Oh, I love that story.
That is beautiful.
And I think, sorry,
I was going to go to the next message, but sorry, I cut you.
No, I was just saying how lovely, and how that the solstice is that portal time, is that space between the worlds where you can have stronger visions of your guides, of the fae, of the spirits of the land. And I know you don't have to wait for those times, but those powerful times, especially in the darkest night, and then that sense of rebirth, and that is such a time when you can, both winter and summer solstice have had really powerful visions, and which you don't sometimes get at other times of the year, even if you go to the same place or do the same ceremony. So it is a really lovely thing to do. And I'm really glad that you had that experience, Diane.
I really think that the solstices, also the equinoxes in their own way, are actual portals, because there is something about it. Like I said, it's really, really it's nature. You can't deny it. It's undeniable. The night is the longest, the night is the shortest. So much more so than, say, 8th of the 8th, 9th of the 9th, and those things that are much more man-made, because we created the calendar ish. Obviously, there's 12 constellations and that, but the solstices and the equinoxes are literally the sun. It's literally the sun's interaction with what we do here. Moon Moggy John says, as the Holly King, I fought and lost to the Oak King.
Yes,
it takes a big man to accept the loss.
Just a few months.
Let me. Oh, wait! I missed part 1. John says, I was the Holly King at the Roll Right Stones 2 years ago, so got some great photos. Oh, I really wish we could receive and flash up photos.
Wish you could share the photos on the screen. Yeah, that would be.
Yeah, I wouldn't even know how to begin to do that. Dahlia is saying, I've been sick for over 20 years. Can this also shift with Pluto moving into Aquarius? Although Dahlia says that she is a Pisces, I think Neptune has been up to
up to mischief,
uncomfortable. Yeah, but I've got 2004, 2005. I love that time of year that I've got to move from room to room with a books. So Neptune has been in Pisces. So there is an aspect of kind of turning very inwardly into yourself. Neptune has been in Pisces. It must be, I don't know, like 10, 12 years. It's been a while. And it's leaving soon. Let me see when it's leaving. March, right after your birthday. March 30th, Neptune is moving into Aries. Not permanently. Well, obviously not permanently. It's in the sky. But it's not leaving you for the rest of your, natural time here on Earth. It's going to go forward, and then it kind of retrogrades and comes to visit again. You're like, not welcome back. But obviously there will be, there will be some kind of influence, because the Pluto influence is not individual to just sort of one sign. It touches everybody. And the previous time that Pluto was moving to Aquarius, so 240 years ago, is when it was the French Revolution, and when the USA had got its independence. So, big things happen when it happens. But yeah, have you got a message for Dahlia
just
Rose?
pull some cards for you on that one, just that feeling of it. And I feel like what it does is there's an uncovering of new ideas or new ways or reasons for certain things. So first thing I got was the magician. So I think new ideas on how to either or to not like how to feel better, because that sounds patronizing as anything. I don't mean that. It's just new ideas on what the issue is or what the cause is or how this can be treated. It seems to, I get it, it seems to maybe unveil some things. Well, that could be the Neptune energy as well as the Pluto. But I do feel like there's a sense of something that you are feeling. I think that's this. Here you got the Prince of Cups in the middle, feels very much more Neptune. There's a tidal shift for you, and it being into Aries feels very much like the four of wands there. There's something more of a quality of a joy that comes in, or an unveiling, something which can support you in some way. And these two popped out as well, and I didn't mean to pull so many cards, but you've got Justice and Temperance, freaking huge. So something is cosmically shifting for you to at least see or receive healing and to feel more vital in different ways. So I think something is shifting for you in a very, very big way.
And I was pulling as well, and I was blown away when he said like ideas and thoughts, because the first two that I got are swords. So that's very much like things that are changing in the mind, things that are changing of the mind. But yeah, exactly the same, like the end energy. So here I've got the Empress. The end energy is a type of healing, a type of earth healing, and a type of earth healing that has a lot to do with your femininity. So if you've spent some years exploring the duality and the full rainbow of gender by viewing yourself via different gods that are, not necessarily masculine or feminine, or via different mythological entities that are either genderless or kind of, unigendered. It's actually stepping into the feminine power and going through either types of healing that are, kind of right there in the ovaries, or fully aligning yourself with some of the mother goddesses, Hera. I'm really struggling for mother goddesses because I've always been so into the virgin goddesses. Ironically,
Demeter,
yes, beautiful, yeah, Holy Mother, exactly for for this time of year. But align yourself with the mother goddesses.
So I'm thinking the Celtic ones like Danu or Anu.
Yeah. But yeah, it could create more of a change. Not that we're sort of taking away from the fact that you have actually, experienced long-term illness, but there's always a change that can be brought into it, be it the way that you process it, the way that you view it, or even in real life. I don't know. Me, I believe in miracles. I'm not saying everybody should.
I do too. Or just unveiling. There's always new discoveries being made, isn't there? And it could be something that might go, oh, actually, that could be helpful. Doesn't just that kind of feeling.
Yeah, exactly. And we've got a request from Sandy Black.
Hi, Sandy.
Just now, I'm realizing I've got like a Facebook friend request from you, and I tend to like ignore all Facebook friend requests because I don't understand how to work Facebook at all. And I didn't connect the name there with the exact same name that you have here. I'm very, very sorry. And, if I can find it, I'll press the approval. So just, I know that I've got a very expressive face. If you can see me cringing, that's what I'm cringing about.
Yeah.
So general Yule New Year reading, please, ladies.
Oh, I love the fact. Sorry, I just pulled three of the carrot cards, as it were, which are all major arcana. And I thought I should pull a normal deck just to make sure it's not just all major arcana. Then you got a major arcana from the normal deck. So I was just like, okay, fair dues.
That's how it goes.
That's how it goes.
What have we got there?
the hanged kitty, the hanged man comes up first, which I think is a really nice energy. I mean, it's not often thought of as a nice energy, but if someone that, this is a chance to see things a little bit differently, to be in between the worlds, to take a little bit of a step back out of reality, which is something that's good, if possible, to do over the Christmas period and the solstice period, and not to rush forward, because next year's a lot of rushing. There's a lot going on for next year. And there's a realignment. I always feel like the hanged man is a bit like Odin. You can get that wisdom if you make a little bit of a sacrifice here. If you stop a little bit, take some time for you, take some time for your spiritual path, which I know you probably do anyway. But there's a feeling of changes can happen when you stop. I'm telling myself that as well. So change can happen when you stop. And when you stop, you realize what feels balanced, what feels wrong, what feels right, what you want to take into next year, what you're done with. And then you have the chariot cat. So it's all moving forward next year. But everything you're wanting to move forward with is going to charge. You're preparing yourself now by stopping, taking a step back, rebalancing, so that you can really answer yourself, what is right, what's important to me, what do I want to put my energy into. The sun card popped out as well for success, so we'll just leave it there, shall we?
Yeah, no, that cannot be wrong. And what I've got for you here is just a bit of a balancer. It says, if you're moving forward, if you're changing things, make sure that you're going in the direction of balance, because if you don't go towards balance, you know what awaits you when you don't go towards balance. Self-questioning, anxiety, self-blame. So any change that you're making, ask yourself, is this helping me be more balanced? Is this helping my life find more of an inner balance? So yeah, let us know if that makes sense, Sandy Black. Yay. Just like Dahlia Rose just did. Dahlia says, thank you. I definitely believe in miracles. You're in good company, or you know, you're in loud company at the very least.
Yeah, you're in this company.
yeah. You're in red company. And we've got a question from Pizzer Does It 94 saying, hey, can I please ask if me and my partner will source out and make it work, please? Let's see if you're going to source out. Because, you know, with a new year, there could be a new partner. Ha.
Go on, you go. You're swimming at the
right. Your partner will want to sort it out. Obviously, I feel like, and I don't want to be the one that says it, but I feel like you can do better, because I feel like the person in your life right now is very passionate, very physically interesting, very attractive, has a lot going on in all the things that barely matter. They're a little bit matter, but I don't see your partner as a kind and balanced person. I don't see your partner as somebody who's willing to sort of make you big promises. I don't see your partner as somebody who will pop out to get you a pastry when you're feeling a little bit glum in the morning. So yes, you will source it out. Yes, you will make it work, possibly even up until like next November. But already in March, this March, maybe even late Feb, somebody comes in who's so much more like you. Sweet, funny, big heart, adventurous. And I'd like you to be with that person, because I see it as a better match. So the answer is yes, but there's more to it. What have you got there when I finished making those unappealing noises? Ha!
Ha! Ha! Yeah, I feel like, I do get the choice, the options are there, and I get the fire and the passion, and also that fire and that passion with that person, and the fact that you're asking, can you work it out? It does feel there is something that is guarded, and there's a bit where they won't open, or maybe that's like Inbaal is saying, the kindness or the openness, but there's a little bit where they won't quite give, but they do give in other ways. So show you the cards. There we go. Even the one about guarding was turning its back. So it's either that this one learns And it means learning. I think they have to learn how to be more patient, grounded, earthy, or there is going to be Mr. grounded, patient, earthy with a dog, or a love of, and when I say dog, doesn't have to have a dog, but they've just got that love of nature, love of animals, a kindness. If you can, I mean, anyone that doesn't like animals, I do not trust instinctively. But it feels like, there's that, and then it opens up a different part of you. So yeah, there does feel, I think you're sort of noticing that with your partner, there's something they just won't let open up to. And you can spend a lot of your life saying someone who's done this, trying to open up someone that does not want to open up. And it's a waste of energy. Or you can have that person that is already ready to give on that energy, on that level. I'm not saying, not definitely no, it depends what you want. But I do feel that you move forward, but you might notice there needs to be some work on opening up more on an emotional level.
Yeah. Very good, very good. Sandy Black says, thank you. Yes, perfect. Yay! Love it. Can't do better than perfect. And Down to Earth says, first time seeing you two from Idaho, USA.
Nice
Welcome.
to see you.
I'm coming at you live from the north of England. If you know Yorkshire, near like Manchester, Leeds, those kind of places.
And I'm coming at you from the southwest of England, near so in Somerset, so near Glastonbury and Devon and Dorset, in those areas. Should we do a card for this person? It's the first time they've seen it.
Yeah, let's do it. We've only got a couple more minutes on.
Sorry, I didn't see about the time. I was chatting away.
Before we break up until January. So let's welcome Down to Earth.
I've got a lot of healing for you, my darlings, coming up. That's coming up straight away. Got two cards, got the Three of Swords and the Strength card coming up there. So the Three of Swords is a card of the mind, and it's a card of the processes of healing and releasing. And also we can have a go at ourselves for years with this card. But the Three of Swords is what needs to be released. And there's something here about you coming into a new era of power and strength. There's a lot of healing, which is bringing inner strength, inner power, and the ability to move forward in bigger and more beautiful ways.
Fabulous. And it's really interesting because I've also sort of got quite a fiery reddish card for you, and it shows that there are opportunities opening up all through the next few weeks. So you'll have sort of friends saying to you, do you want to come and do this with me? Or, would you like to come and join me on whatever? Any kind of question like that, just say yes. Sure. Because opportunities are coming up for you. So welcome. And hopefully you'll keep up with us. If you see the Bigfoot Outlaw channel, there we go, symbol there, come and follow us on the YouTube. Pizzer does it, says, we have had a lot of problems lately, but I really love her. Would I be able to ask if my career will get better? Also, if you guys don't mind another question, the industry I work in have made me unsure.
Okay, yes. Okay, quick question.
Why not?
The Emperor comes up. That's wonderful. So the Emperor, career will get better, but I think you'll have to shift your energy around. Because I mean, the Emperor is a good card, but I just go, ugh, sometimes when I see it because it's so harsh. So it feels like
very controlling.
Looks pretty grumpy. I am a very grumpy cat. So so I got the Generosity card, the Six of Pentacles, which is so lovely. So it will get better, but maybe you're doing it in a different way, or you're doing it in your way. It could be approaching different places. There's a shift. If people can't be kind in the industry that you're in, you're going to be kind and make that, and you'll be the one that makes a change, or that you will approach things in a different way. But don't let the industry change you. Don't let it change your kindness, your warmth, your generosity of spirit. And they make that your mission for the new year, to bring that power to whatever place you work in.
So I've got the kind of same vibe, because it says, do your own business. Do your own business with the industry, and that way you get to decide everything. You get to decide who gets a freebie. You get to decide who you bring in. You get to decide when the start times are, when the end times are. So yeah, it looks like things will get better, but I think you're going to make them better.
Yes.
So yeah, let's look at the last couple of messages, and then we're going to start signing off.
Star has spoken, saying, "You've had an hour. I want my treats." The meowing has begun.
Yeah, I could sense the cat jumping around. Piz says, "I'm hopeful, but if you guys have to go, then thank you very much for your wisdom and time. With pleasure, with pleasure. Come and see us more in the new year." Sandy says, "Have a cool Yule, blessing, ladies." And Down to Earth says, "Thank you. I will watch for opportunities." And yes, I have been in my head a lot and letting go. Yes. Right? Amazing. So we wish you, before we sort of sign off, can I show that my wealth oil is finally available, and it's working.
Amazing. I've got your love oil here, so I'll just share them both on the screens while we can. Woo!
Oh, shall we do them side by side? I'm wearing it. I keep putting it on me. Yay. So
love oil.
So we're going to start signing off. Do you have some final words of wisdom?
Do I have any words of wisdom? No. Happy solstice, everybody. Give yourself some space, some time to rest. We're in the darkest part of the year. You're allowed to take a step back, and if you can find the space, you don't have to be all up and about and kind of celebrating all the time. As the sun's bright in the background, it's being reborn. So maybe on Saturday, on the solstice, give yourself a little bit of time to nod to the sun, to celebrate the rebirth, and to re-spark hope for the new year. But thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much. We're going to be so excited to catch up with you.
Yes.
We're anyway always available, so make sure you follow the both of us. Follow Laura right into the sun.
Yeah, I am the rebirthing sun right now. Don't want to brag about, but
but it's obvious. When it's obvious, it's obvious. Thank you everybody for joining us, and we will see you in 2025.
Mwah. See you next year.
Bye.
Bye.